Facebook family, welcome back to another live here from the Midwest Convention. With me, I have a good friend, Lee Amberg. How are you, brother?
Awesome, brother. Good to see you as always.
From Windy City Jewelry and Loan.
Yes, sir.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
Right?
Well, technically we're in Evanston, which is the northern border of Chicago,
Okay.
and we have another store in Elgin.
Okay, awesome. So how many locations do you have?
2 in the Chicagoland area.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you been doing pawn?
33 glorious years.
33 years?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Well, yeah. You know, when I say it out loud to you, it's like,
I was 5 years old.
damn, I'm old.
I was 5 years old when you started.
Okay. I got tennis shoes older than you, I think.
So still in the industry, what do you love about the industry that keeps you here for 33 years?
You know, I got to tell you, it's there's so many cliches to it. There's, I'm helping out the world, and, I'm making money and everything. To me, there was never a better satisfaction than bringing in somebody who's never been in the pawn store, and you know they need some money, and they're not destitute, but something happened, an event, and they come in and they go, I need some money and I want to sell this, and you talk to them and you go, okay, well, I can make you this amount of money, but instead of selling your stuff, maybe take a loan. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then they come back and pick it up, and they come in a second time. To me, there's no better feeling than that, because you've developed this customer, and eventually you developed a friend. I mean, we've got people that we've been doing business with for 33 years. Well, it's ironic. I just saw my first grandchild of a customer who is now beginning to come in. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Like
yeah.
it starts cycling over. So you got mom, you got the kids, you got their kids.
That's incredible.
It's very generational. It's a good feeling. Of course, you know, it just makes me feel very old, but it's a good feeling.
That's okay. So I love that. And what do you think, looking at the industry for 33 years, you've been in the good times, you've been in the growth spurt with
Sure.
gold, when that kind of took a hit. What do you think pawnbrokers are doing that you see mistakes that they're making today?
It's such a different game than it used to be. I remember when we first started, I had never been in a pawn shop, never done anything. Somebody challenged me to open up the store in a very negative way, so I did it.
Hold on one second. Let's get to that real quick.
All right.
So you never been in a pawn shop, never done
I
anything?
had worked part-time for a friend of a friend.
Okay.
And it was during Christmas break or spring break, and they needed some help, and it was really a throwaway job. He just wanted to see the kid work really hard and get paid $10 for the day. So I mean, that was my exposure to it. And I was in the nightclub business, and I had just gotten out, and a friend of ours who was in this business came to me and said, listen, we need somebody to work on Saturdays, because nobody ever wants to work on Saturdays. Everybody wants to spend time with their family. And he said, do you want to work on Saturdays? I said, sure, that sounds interesting. I something to do. He says, great, but you have to interview with my manager, because he runs a store and I'm never there. Okay. So I'm at the restaurant getting ready to meet this manager. Up drives this yellow Porsche. Out steps this guy in yellow shoes and yellow pants and a yellow jacket with the Mr. T starter set.
Okay.
Okay. And the mullet.
Okay.
All right. A ring on every finger.
Yeah.
And he's talking like this, very much. And so we talking, and he says, to be in my business, you got to really, you got to give it to the people. You got to treat them like they need to be. These people are down and out. And it's like, okay, well, that's not my personality. I'm very upbeat. I always want to see the positive side to everything. And he goes, when the interview was all over, he goes, I don't think I don't think you got what it takes to do this job. And I went, really? Because I think you can do this job and treat people really decent. And he goes, no, you got to really know when to take advantage of them and do this. Very old school. Old school.
Like really
like
you're old school. This is like different.
Oh yeah, he's my granddaddy's old school. And so I said, okay, well, circumstances happened. The gentleman that I knew who was in the business, who owned the store, passed away. And because they were friends of the family, I found out that part of his will, because he didn't really trust the manager at that store, was that manager has to buy out the family.
Okay.
He didn't want his family in bed with him.
Yeah.
So I go, well, if he's going to buy out the people we do know, now it's me and him.
Yeah.
let's see how stupid I am.
Yeah.
Let's see how I can't do this. So I went to his store and I started doing 1 block radiuses and signed a lease 2 days later.
Right.
And that was 33 years ago.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible. So going
Yeah.
back, amazing story. Going back to, you said that it's a very different time.
Oh, very different time. I remember, so when we first opened, my first loan, the day I opened for the very first time, guy came in with 169 pennyweights of 14 karat gold and a Rolex watch.
Oh, man. And you're just like,
Rolex President
Yeah.
watch. And I was like, okay. So I said, excuse me 1 second. I walked, because we have privacy booths. I walked away from the privacy booth where he couldn't see me. And I
Yeah.
said, yeah, okay, I'm in trouble here.
Yeah.
So I took a deep breath. I calmed myself down. I went through my questions with him. I talked to him a little bit, made the loan. He
Okay.
came back,
picked it up.
picked it up. It's been a run ever since.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't have the resources. And I think that's almost been a detriment because of the information. Yes, people who don't know how to, or are just learning to become pawnbrokers, have access to the internet, eBay, Etsy, every single
Yeah.
website in the world. But in our day, you had to know each product
Yeah.
and you had to know the customer. So you balance the product and the customer to try and make a deal to have them come back.
Got it.
Nowadays, it's okay. Well, the first thing they do is they go to eBay and they see, oh, it's selling for eBay. Well, okay, but that's a 55-inch TV set in a box.
Yeah.
That's not your marketplace. So
Yeah.
the younger people today and the new people coming in the business, they have to understand that it's not so black and white.
Yeah.
Everything was gray when we started.
I
It's still gray.
remember when my father, they had 12 stores, like the Kelly Blue Book would come out.
Right.
And then my father would go and get the newspaper and see what tools were on sale.
Exactly.
And
Who had the
you
sales?
to
Every
know-
Sunday you got the paper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you had to know everything about everything.
Mhm.
And now, like you said, we go online, you type it in, and this TV pops up. It's easy to do. But I think, what you're trying to say is we're forgetting to see the human
Absolutely.
on the other side of the counter.
It becomes a very sterile transaction. And I got to be honest with you, through high times that you talk about when gold's pumping and through low times when gold's not pumping and you have to do more hard goods, this isn't about the goods 9 times out of 10. You've been in this business long enough to
Yeah.
know that I've got guys that they can bring me a brick in a box and I'll loan them $100
Yeah.
because it's their brick. They'll never let it go.
Yeah. And if they do, you've already had them as a client so long that it's okay.
It is totally okay. And somebody said something today that really impressed me. If you do any sales on eBay, there's always going to be one guy who wants to return something.
Of course.
And the initial reaction that a pawnbroker says is, damn it, you can't return that to me. And I'm not paying shipping. And
I
hate eBay. And then, but he said, yeah, okay, so that's the 2%.
Yeah.
What about the 98% that you made over 30% of what you could have sold it for the store because you're in a worldwide market?
Yeah.
So I just think that we've lost the personal touch where the family and what they do for a living and the strife and everything else and the good times. And I've got customers who've been with me for so long, they come in and said, yeah, my daughter just finally graduated. She's all straightened out now. She finally graduated from college. I'm so happy. Finally, I got that off my chest. I got a good job.
Yeah.
Like you've seen their whole life go through,
Yeah.
you remember what it is about. And I think a lot of that we've lost. We try and keep that going as much as you can, but the young people who come in don't really understand that. The young people come in, they've gotten so mechanical. That's because they're always looking at an iPhone or they're always looking on the computer. And hey, talk to my customer.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Jones. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the wife? How's the car? Oh, hey, you got a new car? Good job.
One of the biggest honors that I've ever had in the pawn shop was when a client would invite me to their wedding or to their quinceañera. Like,
Absolutely.
Yigal, we've been coming here for 8 years and you've helped us out. And because of you, blah, blah, here's the invitation to quinceañera. And one time I went with my brother. It wasn't often that we would go, but this was a very, very important customer. She'd been coming here for a long time. It was her daughter's quinceañera. And we were treated like royalty. special table. So, like, it was just incredible.
It's very funny. We've had that happen. We have a lot of as you say, you have to pick and choose which ones you go
Of course,
to.
yes.
But we've had those invitations, and my wife and I have gone, and it's been an honor, and it's been an honor because you've had a relationship with them. You find that the personal aspect or the people aspect of this business is really, to round this conversation back around, is the whole reason that I like doing it. Yeah. I've been fortunate enough that we've had businesses. We have a store in Florida, in Panama City as well. I didn't mention earlier, but we're down in Florida during the winter time. Most of the time, my wife's
Chicago
down there.
Sucks.
It does. There's no nice way around it. It does suck. So been fortunate enough that my wife goes down there for the season, and I commute back and forth. And it's very interesting how things come around, because my customers don't see me in the store all the time because we have multiple locations.
Yeah.
So if a customer comes in once a month to make his payments, he might not see me for 6-7 months. Sometimes a year, depends on their schedule. So it's so fun when you see customers that come in and they go, "Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in so long. Boy, it's been years since I've seen you. Hey, you put on a couple of pounds," and you go,
"Yeah, like, man,
really?
Come on."
That's your first opening statement to me is, "Hey, fat boy, how you doing?"
So let me ask you this question. We talk about, like, the fact that, because I'm the same way, I love people. Right after a lot of people don't know.
Really, because you're so shy and introverted.
I'm so shy. So one of the things and a lot of people don't know this, but when I left the pawn industry and I went into the consulting and coaching, I was depressed because I had gone from being surrounded by 15 employees and hundreds of customers and action to sitting behind a computer.
Right.
And it was depressing.
Sure.
And there was no amount of work I could do to surround me with the amount of people I was used to.
Or the energy.
And even because, my brother sat next to me. And if I want to be by myself, just go to the office. If I wanted to see people, hey, what's up? If you got sick of doing, spreadsheets. But there were moments that I told myself, like, before I left, that I just don't want to do this anymore. Or it got really, really tough for some reason. 33 years. Did you ever have a moment where you're like, I'm done. I can't. I don't want to do this
every single day. No. It's
10 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Anybody got a big checkbook out there? Come see me. No, I got to tell you, it's you always think about the end. Like, what are you going to do after you're in the business? And, I get a little scared about that. The whole retirement exposure to that, or changing careers. I love the energy in the shop. I love the fact of meeting the employees. Give me great happiness because we've had so many long-term employees. I'm very scared of what happens after the pawn shop and after. Okay, so you sell it, and you're now what are you doing? Like, okay, I'm playing poker. All right, I already know what I'm doing, but I'm playing golf and poker. But it's different. And I'll be honest with you, and honey, I love you, but there are times that when I'm getting on that plane to go back to Chicago, it's like, yes, because I need that juice, I need that jelly, I need that jazz. And you walk in, and the first customer through the door says, "Hey, how you doing?" And you go, as you're walking by with your briefcase into your office, you go, "Are you looking at that ring? Oh, how much is that ring? I'll sell it to him for this. Let's go." And you're back doing the juice. So I completely sympathize with that.
Yeah, awesome.
So if you want to work part-time for me,
you can. In the summer months.
In the summer months only. I understand it is Chicago.
So I was in Chicago a couple of days ago, and I asked everybody, "How's Chicago?" They said, "Oh, it's great, but the winter sucks." So in the summertime,
it does. I admit it does.
But it's a beautiful city.
Yes.
So Lee, thank you so much for being on.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, brother. Seriously, always good to talk to you.
33 years right here. That's a lot of experience, and I appreciate your wisdom that you shared today.
Thank you.
So, Pawn Family, check it out. Thank you so much for being on. We'll have some more lives later today at 4 o'clock, which is in about 6 minutes. We're having Adam Harris do a talk about watches.
Yes.
I think PCG Whitehead is doing a talk about metrics. And then tonight we've got the incredible dinner where we'll hang out, network, eat, drink.
Might be a beverage or two.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. And we'll have a good time. So if you haven't been to any of the shows, you got to come out.
You got to.
33 years. How long have you been coming out to conventions?
That's kind of a loaded question because I used to be the national chairman for the convention in Las Vegas for many years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So you were the party planner.
I was when there was a party to be planned, I was it. Yes. No, we had great turnouts back then.
Yeah.
We were at Caesars. We were there for 3 years, and we had some amazing things. Here's the thing about the convention. I know it costs money, and I know there's traveling, and I know there's hotel. There's all sorts of perks. You got to leave a store and everything else. But the information that you get, not just in seminars, which, by the way, 9 times out of 10 are phenomenal. I went to 3 today and learned things that I'm bringing home to my stores after 33 years. You think you know it all? You don't know anything.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it's also about doing exactly this.
Yeah.
It's about sitting down and talking to somebody and saying, hey, I just kind of realized we kind of do things A, B, D. Do you have a better way to do that?
Yeah.
What's going on in your store? And even though it's different marketplace or different thing, you build these bonds so that you can call somebody and say, hey, I got an idea. Let me bounce this off of you. And sometimes that idea is really bad. And sometimes you go, yeah, that idea is not that bad, but here, if you tweaked it this way, you could bring this to the table. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you got something that's really moving forward. So it's about the conversations you have, not only in seminars, but with other people, the vendors and everything else. You got to come to these things. You need to support this. If you don't want to go to Vegas, you should go Midwest or regional or Dixie. And the Dixie show and the California show. They're wonderful, great vendors, great people, good food and good systems. So I think that's the biggest thing that people miss out on is they're afraid to walk away. I guarantee you, whatever the price is for you to walk away for that day, a couple of days, you'll make it 10 times full.
Yeah, because if you get one idea that puts 3% to your bottom line, you've paid it.
Oh, today, purses, how not to take fake watches, diamond simulants, bottom line, how to curb your expenses versus how awesome. The big boys are. What a great presentation. Your brother's certificate one, another great one. I mean, they're just, you have to come to a show. You have to start at your local show and then come to the national show or vice versa, but don't miss a show.
Yeah. Love it. Lee, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Let's see who's on here just to say hi. Tim Collier's here watching us. My buddy from Chula Vista, Pepper Brooks, is on. Mike Doyle, what's up, brother? Seth Ward is here. Raul, love it. I don't know who this is. Gary Dolinko?
Mid-States Refining.
Oh, Gary Dolinko. Oh, he's right here. Okay,
yes.
That's right. Lee's here. What's up, brother? And Seth Ward. What's up, brother? How are you? Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes.
We'll be having more lives, and we're going to go. I think we're done.
Okay.
4 o'clock. Go see some more seminars.
Yes. Got to do it.